is I can use my phone as my camera now.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can like look more straight at the screen, sort of.
Yeah.
It is more high def, and I don't like that, but
On the phone.
yeah,
Is it through the app or is it just like a web browser situation?
it's so the because I have my computer, you can just use your iPhone as a camera instead of your laptop.
Oh, it's like
So,
a connected interface thing.
hmm
Okay.
hmm but I couldn't get it to work with Apple or with Google for the longest time, but I got it
Nice.
finally.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. We are doing a recap episode of Hacks. Welcome to the Are You Watching This podcast. My name is Ellen.
And I'm Chelsea.
And we are recapping Hacks Season 2, Episode 8.
Season 4.
Season 4. Sorry. Episode 8. I don't even know what I'm thinking about in Season 2. Title of the episode, Witch of the Week. Directed by Lucia Agnello. I don't even know why I attempted the last name. I'm so sorry. And written by Andrew Law. Shall I give a synopsis of the episode?
Do you have it?
Pull it up. No, do you?
Yeah, I can read it really quick if you want.
Yes, please.
Deborah pitches a new approach for the show. Nina arrives with a plan for Ava's future. Jimmy struggles to keep up while Kayla fields an offer.
Okay, nice. All right, so first scene, we see Jimmy in a restaurant. He is waiting for Deb and Ava to arrive. Deb comes first, then Ava arrives, and he's invited them so they could squash the beef. And he's made sure that all the knives on the table were not there in case it got bloody, which fair, because the hate that they did have in the first half of the season was very strong. So I understood. When they did show up, Ava and Deb, Ava reveals that they made up a while ago, and Jimmy is kind of just like, oh, okay. I felt really sorry for him. Did you feel?
Yeah.
Kind of like, why did you guys not even tell him?
Yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, he was set up this whole lunch to get them back together to like smooth things out, and he could have just skipped all that.
Yeah. Anyways. Then Ava is at home waiting for her mom to arrive. Her mom comes to visit her, which made me think, and I can't remember, but have we met her mom before?
Yes, because Ava's dad dies in season 2 or 3.
Oh.
No, maybe 1. I don't know. And then so Deborah goes to the funeral, and we meet Ava's mom. And Ava's mom is in one of the Christmas episodes.
Okay.
In the Christmas episode. But yeah, so we've met her like once or twice.
Okay. I did not remember her dad dying. It's been a couple of years.
Well, and they don't really bring it up again.
No, it's not like a trauma she holds on to.
No, it's really not. It's really not.
So then her mom comes to visit. They can't really get a hold of each other on the phone because her phone was still on airplane mode. So then Ava hears her from the fountain outside in the mall. That her mom comes into her apartment and they're talking. And she then tells Ava that she's worried that Ava will never have children. And Ava is like, what? She also tells Ava that she got the $22,000 in a class action lawsuit. Was it a class action? Yes.
Yeah.
Or just a lawsuit. And so she's offering to get Ava pregnant, which I absolutely love whoever wrote that line.
Yeah, and because of the way the mom says it's really funny. And also the way that she got the $22,000, like you said, it's a lawsuit, but it's from in one of the seasons when we do meet her, she's hawking like vitamin water thing. It's called Vibabin or something.
Mhm.
And Ava asked because her mom was being sued, but also she was suing the company. And so I don't even know if that's legal.
Right. Her mom is a trip, though.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, she's stressing to Ava that she really just thinks, it's time that Ava thinks about getting pregnant. She's offering to give Ava $10,000 to freeze her eggs and store her eggs for her, like with this money. Ava is like, this is a longer conversation. Ava first is like, no, but this is a longer conversation for next time. I've got to go to work. Her mom then guilts her because she's like, I flew all this way to hang out with you. Mom, move. So then Ava just invites her to work with her.
Yeah. Would you freeze your eggs?
I thought about it. I was having a conversation with multiple people about this, and I think like around the 28, 29, 30 age when you are single, you think about it. You think about how much you want to become a mom, if you want to be a mom. And then you think about like how, like the levels of that. So it's like, would I do it alone? Would I then freeze my eggs? Would I, all that stuff? And I had that conversation with myself, and I just realized I would love to be a mom. I'd be an amazing mother. I've got the best community around me for that too. I just do not want to do it alone. Yeah. Like intention, like in the beginning, shit happens and all that. So, however it ends, cool. But in the beginning stages of it all, yeah. Is that even a thing married people can
Well, no,
about?
no, because if you want to wait till you're older, so often women will freeze their eggs so then they can do like IVF down the road if they're having a hard time getting pregnant. Because I did think about that too when I was about the same age, like more or less after I got married, and I definitely knew I didn't want to have kids then, but I wasn't sure when that would be, and so I was like, maybe I should freeze my eggs just in case.
Yeah.
But then I looked into what that took, and it's really expensive, and you have to take all these shots, and like they have to go up in there, and I got an IUD, and I didn't like that, so I'm like, I don't want to go through the pain. I can't. It's not worth it for me in that moment, at least. Like kind of like you were saying, like in the moment when I think about it, it wasn't the right thing to do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But
I hear you.
I think it's amazing. Like I love that we have that ability to do that, to be able to provide this opportunity for mothers or people, people that become mothers when they have difficulty.
Yeah, absolutely. Or when it's just not the right time, it's like maybe not now. I'm career focused, so let me just freeze these eggs. But yeah, maybe later down the line. But yeah, it is actually insane how expensive it is because you've got to store it too, and you're like generally paying rent for your eggs at some sort of facility.
Yeah.
And I also just came to the conclusion where it's like, if it's meant to be, I'm just that kind of person. If it's meant to be, it'll be.
That's kind of where I'm at too. But I'm preventing that from happening. So I don't think it's, if it does happen, then it really is meant to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That happens too,
It does. It does.
Okay. So then we go to the next scene. Jimmy and Kayla are at their office, and Jimmy fills Kayla in on how lunch went. And Kayla's like, oh, lunch worked. And Jimmy's like, well, actually, they made up a while ago. Kayla thinks it's so fucked up that they didn't tell him sooner and is like ready to fight everybody for Jimmy, as she always is, and tells him, though, that he needs to stand up for himself and love himself. And like the way Ava and Deborah treated him in this situation was wrong.
Yeah, I love Kayla standing up for Jimmy, or being like, no, you need to stand up for yourself, because we slowly see him start standing up for himself, and I think it's because Kayla like backs him at first, and so he feels the strength to do it. So
what an like odd pairing of characters, and it fucking works. If they cause drama for them in later seasons, I will be distraught.
No, they won't. Did you see the tweet about somebody who's like, I want Kayla to get pregnant, and Jimmy steps up to be the dad?
She said that. The actor.
Oh, she did. Okay, yeah. And then, but somebody was like, well, I think Jimmy's gay, which he might be the
Mhm.
character. We don't
Mhm.
know. But that doesn't mean he still can't be the dad that steps up.
Exactly.
If anything, that would be better. That would be such
Yeah.
a better storyline.
Yeah, I agree.
The dynamic of him trying to date, but then
Yeah.
it's his coworker. And
Yeah. Also, previous episode with CC Homo, how they were on the conversation phone call, and she was like, "Let's ignore the fact that we matched on Tinder," which I feel like they alluded to that he is also into women. Now we don't know if he's also into men. He could still be bi,
mm-hmm.
but he is into women.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
Yeah.
I need to know Paul W. Down's whole ordeal because that's amazing. That I mean, this is okay. Edit this part out. Never mind. Okay. Where are we? Yeah, Kayla tells him to stand up for himself. Then we go to the next scene. Deb is doing some sort of green screen advertisement for the Super Bowl.
Was it for? I didn't pick up that was on for the Super Bowl.
Because she goes like, "Why am I doing this?" And he's like, "Well, because it's for football. Maybe it's just for football and not the Super Bowl." But I just assumed when it's a big advert, it's for the Super Bowl. And then we have a cute little scene within the scene of the social media manager also doing some content with Ava about leap day. He makes her leap. And I feel like they spent quite a few minutes on the scene. I'm like, is this an inside joke? Like, why are you guys making Deb, leap? But it's all right. Then from the scene, we go to Ava in the writer's room, and she's there with her mom. And her mom's being a lot, asking about the snacks, food, taking pictures on her iPad. And while they're in there, one of the writers is on their phone and gets a notification of breaking news that the mayor of Vegas was caught having sex on a Zamboni with multiple hockey players.
Good for her.
Yes.
Did you happen to catch too what Ava was talking to the writers about, like before they start the whole scene?
No.
She's talking. She's like, we got to come up with another name for Make a Wish because apparently they sued Deborah in the 90s. So I caught that. I was like, I want to know the backstory. Like, why did they sue her? What joke did she make?
Yeah. Oh God. Probably something so offensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So yes, the mayor of Vegas has gotten caught in a sex scandal, I guess, and the writers then begin to riff on her name and the scandal in itself, and it's going very well until the last person makes a Wayne Gretzky joke, and Ava's mom's like, "Okay, too far," which got a laugh out of me.
That's good.
Yes. We then go to the next scene. Ava goes to tell Deb about Mayor Joe's sex scandal. And Ava asks if they're going to do jokes on it that night, on the show that night. And Deb says no, she has a hard line. She doesn't do jokes about friends, which I really respect.
You wouldn't do a joke about me?
Not if it's like you're going through a hard time. Not if it's like
we're punching somebody down when they're already down.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. In this scene too, Stacy says that she keeps forgetting to feed her dog since she's been working with Deborah and Ava, and that the dog has lost 15 pounds.
Yes.
I'm like, girl, I don't think you need that dog
at all.
Or actually, she really should leave that job. There has to be another HR job for her somewhere.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's really stressing her out also following them. And she's a mess. So then Ava suggests that Deb, I don't know if it's Asia who suggests it or Deb suggested it.
Oh, I don't remember, but it gets brought up.
Yes, that Deb then gets Mayor Joe on the show to tell her side of the story, talking to her instead of talking about her. Oh, what happened? We still here? Are we not here? Am I frozen? Oh,
wiki. There you are. You're back.
Now you're back. Yes, you're back too.
Okay, so you were talking about Ava and Deborah talking about getting Mayor Joe on the show.
Yes, yeah. So then, yeah, Ava suggests that they get her on the show to tell her side of the story about the whole sex scandal, talking to her instead of talking about her and making jokes about her, which I think was a great shift in narrative to do. Deb then goes to visit Mayor Jo to convince her to come onto the show and tell her side. And she says, I wrote, Deb convinces her by telling her she needs to make the laughs hers.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently a Nora Ephron quote.
Yeah. And Deborah says that Nora Ephron called her a bitch one time.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly what the context was, but she's saying that and she's like, yeah, Nora Ephron. She's like, good quote, but she called me a bitch one time.
Yeah.
Which, how do you feel about, like, if somebody called you a bitch? Is that offensive to you?
I think okay, so context matters.
Mm-hmm.
My ex used to never say the word. Like,
oh, okay.
He was like, that's not what you should be calling like women, and very respectful in that manner, which was hilarious because but then because I hung out with him a lot, it also like came on to, I was like, yeah, I don't need to be throwing it around like that. But then I throw it around here and there. I will say I did it way more before. Mm-hmm. Before we dated, and then after I do it, but not as much. And I don't feel any type of way if someone calls me it. Really? What about you?
Same. I think it's all like context and what they're trying to get at. And, sometimes I am. So they could be an accurate description.
Also, so did you grow up with your sisters?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I also think, were you guys catty to each other though?
Oh, no, because they're still like 12 and 16 years
true.
younger. They're like significantly
you're the older
younger.
one.
Yeah, so
true.
no. But I will say now that they're adults, we do like kind of make more risque, catty, mean jokes to each other. So, yes. But we haven't quite gotten there yet, but maybe a few more years.
I love how it's like, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Where am I? So Mayor Jo then is like, okay, I'll come on the show. Or I think it's assumed. I don't know. Deb ends up convincing her. We then go to the next scene. Jimmy is nursing his dog bite. And one of his clients, Clive, which, again, I have no idea if this is a character we've met before. I'm assuming it is. Visits Jimmy. Clive was a client who had cancer. So he visits Jimmy to let him know he's in remission and has to fire Jimmy as his manager because Kayla's dad, Michael, is trying to poach him. And then I connected the dots and I was like, oh, so Jimmy took him on when he had cancer and no one else wanted him.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's at the end, I think, of season 1 or close to it. It's whenever Kayla and Jimmy are trying to sign more clients and they go to that conference and they think that it's saying that he performed on stage 4, but it's his comedy special is called stage 4 because he has cancer. And so they sign him and then find out and they're like, oh.
That's funny. Yeah. All right. So then Jimmy, during this conversation of Jimmy getting fired, Jimmy, lets us know that the dog bite it's fucked up, really.
He says it's an antibiotic resistant wound.
Yes. The rabies specialist comes in and Jimmy's going through it, and really it could not happen to a better guy. Mm-hmm. I feel for him. Yeah. Then we are back on set with Ava's mom. And it's just a quick little scene of Ava's mom trying to hook Ava up at her job with this guy who assumes that Ava's mom is talking about a dog.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he actually understands what she's asking.
Yeah. But anyways.
Don't your parents kind of get numbers for you and give numbers out for you?
They be trying. Yeah. They be trying. But this last instance didn't go so well, so hopefully they've learned their lesson and are leaving me alone.
How would they learn their lesson?
Because I expressed how much
Okay. Okay.
it yes annoyed me, and my mother I think finally understood.
Okay.
It's
Good.
a no go zone, and she's also like, "Oh, these men out here are ridiculous."
Yeah.
So yeah. um. So then we go to Deb and Joe are backstage getting ready for the show that night. Joe is sweating and she asks for hairspray to be sprayed on her face, which absolutely not, as like a setting
Settings.
spray.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And the next scene, Mary Jo comes on the show. They start talking about the scandal. Sorry,
She
go ahead.
writes out on a Zamboni too, so it's like very cheeky.
Yes. They started talking about it, and I just love the way they tackle it.
It was so great. It was such a
So
cute little
good.
scene. And you could see Mayor Joe felt so much better at the end of it. She felt like she
Yeah.
took control of that situation and
Yeah.
got ahead of it. So
Yeah. And yeah, Deb is such a good friend for giving her that space to make fun of it, but also be like, what the hell? No one got hurt. So why is this a big
yeah.
deal?
Why is it a scandal? You are a grown adult. You had
Mhm.
consensual sex with 3 men or whatever.
Yes.
Who
Who
cares?
cares? Right.
She's not married. Like
Right.
maybe the hockey players were married. That part we don't know, but
That's none of her business. That's none of our business. Oh, and if anything, then they should be the
yes,
headline of the story.
yes,
And then also, Mary Jo makes the point of like she's the mayor of Sin City. That's what they do in Vegas.
yeah, yeah.
Like, are you guys shocked? You know.
Oh, I forgot to mention in the scene where Deborah goes to visit Joe. For whatever reason, I didn't understand. She like hops the fence, and so she scares Mayor Joe, and Mayor Joe like greets her with a gun, or she's like,
Yes.
"I'll shoot you. Who are you?"
This is a stand your ground state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, "I could have shot you."
Yeah.
Oh boy.
um. Yes, they handle the scandal very well on the talk show. Then after Ava, the next scene, Ava's giving her mom a tour of the studio lot, and they're walking through the set of War of the Worlds,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think I've seen that movie. So there's that.
Um, is that the one with Tom Cruise?
I'm assuming so.
War of the Worlds. I think that is, or because there's also World War Z. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, I think
it's with Tom Cruise.
okay. Yeah.
And what's her name? Dakota Fanning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And during this tour, they revisit the kids combo, but her mom also does what's it called? Acknowledge that after spending the day with her, that she gets it. Like she gets that Ava has a fulfilling life and is really like has done this for herself, and you know that she's not really gonna press her as much if she doesn't want to have a kid, but it would be nice if she did have a kid. And then Ava does admit, like, yeah, she's thought about it too, but it's just not for her. And that's okay. And Ava tells her to use the money on herself, the 22K on herself, which also made me realize, like, yeah, I'm not ready to be a mom because if I got a class action, it's like you truly have to be selfless. Like, nothing is for you anymore.
Yeah. I'm be like, well, my daughter's working. She didn't need the money.
Yeah, exactly.
She's also telling her mom to use the money to like find her own hobby because again, like you said, she sees Ava just being very passionate, and she's like, "Oh, so I should try windsurfing." And Ava's like, "It doesn't have to be windsurfing." She's like, "No, I'm gonna windsurf."
Yeah, which is very odd.
And isn't Ava from like Baltimore or something? Like
Boston.
There's Boston. Yeah.
Yes.
Where are you gonna go windsurfing?
Yeah. Have you windsurfed before?
I was gonna ask you the same thing. No, I have not.
I haven't either.
Yeah. I don't think I ever will.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, maybe if I go to Hawaii, like on a beach vacation and everybody else is doing it, I don't know.
Yeah, me too. But if everyone's doing it, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna seek it out myself. Yeah. So then the next scene, Jimmy vents to Yes, okay. Jimmy vents to Kayla at the office that everything's gone to shit. Dance mom is not a mom. Ava and Deb don't respect him. And an actor client wants to go method by playing a larger character, but he has to gain the weight and he's vegan, so how the hell is he gonna gain the weight? And Kayla's response is, I know a lot of vegans that look like absolute shit.
It's true. It's true.
Cracks me up. Then Jimmy then tells her about her dad poaching Clive, and Kayla goes gorilla mode and goes to talk to her father, which is very cute. I love their relationship so much, and I just feel like they'll bring drama into it, and I don't
No,
need that.
I don't think they're gonna do that to that relationship. There's already enough drama between Ava and Deborah, don't you
I
think?
know, yeah, but also I feel like it's too much drama between Ava and Deborah. I feel like it's shifting. Might be
Okay.
good
Yeah.
for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Fair enough.
So then Kayla goes to talk to her father, and as she's telling him, that what he's doing is wrong and all this, he then tries to poach her by telling her that he's like noticed how well of a job she's been doing and been hearing about how well of a job she's been doing. So he's offering her a role at his company, um, which she leads the conversation saying that she'll think about it.
I think so because I wrote that I didn't think that she would leave, but after that scene, I felt a little worried because it definitely was like it seemed like she was considering it. She definitely didn't
Yeah.
say no.
Mm-mm. She didn't
So,
shut it down
mm-mm.
for sure. Then in the next scene, Ava and Deb are in a meeting about the ratings again, and Deb and Ava come up with other people, and Deb and Ava come up with an idea to tape the show a day before the show airs with like new segments and then posting those teaser clips or clips on the internet the day off. I honestly did not get this part.
No, so what they were saying is that traditionally the way it is that late night shows are filmed at like 4 and then go or air at 10:30. And so what they were doing and what they do is they take teaser clips for that episode, but by the time that it's out, it's like 8 and people aren't seeing it. So what they decide to do is tape the show a day early, post those clips that next day, but like early on for that episode so that it gets them to tune in live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because people are missing them. And so, which I thought that was so smart. Like they're just thinking outside of the box. They're updating the late night method because Ava is like, nobody's listening to like watching late night for updates on or commentary on news. That's overdone. But they want funny segments. They want to hear these interviews. So let's just focus on that.
Yeah, which as you said, I think it's smart. And also I agree with. I think we all have our own commentary on Twitter or anything else now right away. So we're not tuning in to hear somebody else. All the takes have been given literally 2 hours before it's happened or after it's happened. So then we have a montage of them taping the show in this new way, in this new format. And it's going well. It's very cute with new guests and all this stuff. And then the next scene after this is Jimmy calls his assistant to Jimmy pulls up into the parking garage and calls his assistant because he sees like a bow on a jet ski.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah. And he calls his assistant to ask if it's Kayla's birthday, like if he's missed something. And the assistant truly delivers the best line of the episode. And she's like, well, she told me she's a triple Scorpio, and I had to pretend what that means. I mean, I'm gay, but I'm not a lesbian.
I paused that. I was like, I need to make sure I get this right. I have to because it was so good.
So good. I cried laughing. I'm like, why do I feel like personally attacked?
Which, I hope that I'm assuming that the writer like they're not a lesbian, so
yeah,
we're like, this is a funny joke, right? Okay, cool. It's not offensive, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah, either way, it's a great joke. I don't, but I'm sure he got consent from the lesbian community. Also, I know you are not that well versed in astrology, but Kayla being a triple Scorpio is insane and absolutely tracks.
I was about to say, does it track? Because I have a friend who is a Scorpio and she is not Kayla, but if she was a triple Scorpio, she probably would be. She's like, she's like a third of the energy that Kayla brings.
Yeah. I would say definitely there's Scorpio and Kayla, maybe even double Scorpio. But honestly, and this is not a go at you guys, but her not having a Leo is shocking to me.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll write a note and I'll send it to that writer's room to let them know.
Yeah. You'd be like, your lesbian joke was funny, but your astrology joke was lacking.
Yeah.
To really truly understand the character.
Right. So then after that scene, we go back to them having another meeting about the ratings. And I keep forgetting this character's name.
I think it's Rob.
Rob.
I think so.
Okay.
That's what I keep writing down.
Well, it sucks because Tony Goldwyn, who is the head of the studio, his character's name is Bob.
Yes.
So I'm like, how are you guys, first of all, introducing us to characters? Well, we knew Bob last season, but I think. But anyways, it was too much. I'm like, could have separated these names because it's not sticking for me.
What? Why is he not even showing up on when I search Hacks cast?
Great question. Because is it Christopher? No.
I don't know.
Is it Dan? It's Dan.
His name is Dan?
No. The actor's name is Dan.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Dan
Katinsky. Oh, his name's Rob.
Okay, it is Rob. Okay.
Yes. Good. Yeah. That's annoying.
I know. That's why every time I'm like, it is Rob. That doesn't sound right, but okay.
Yeah. So then Rob comes in and he tries to pump fake, but then he's like, the show is officially the #1 show on late night. And everyone's so happy. And I was smiling at the screen like, yay, we all did it. So then Deborah's like, we got to celebrate tonight. In the next scene, they're out celebrating. And Winnie's there. Everyone's there. Rob's there. Winnie's there. And Deborah gives a speech and she thanks Winnie for trusting her and giving her the opportunity to do this. And then when the speech is over, Deb goes to talk to Ava. There's a bunch of things that happen, but I'm just going to do the major points. Stacy announces her departure. She's gone to Costa Rica. At first we thought for a holiday, but it sounds like at a facility.
Yep. What'd she say? She's like, you're not even allowed to have shoelaces.
Yeah. Michaela Watkins is great. I wonder if she would be a guest actor. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Then Winnie goes to talk to Deb about the spinoff, and she's been bothering Deb about this spinoff, kind of just of a segment. Like they keep referencing James Corden's Carpool Karaoke. It's just another way to get more views, which means more money, stuff like that. And Deb is annoyed because she's like, I have done everything you've asked of me. Now I'm trying to celebrate and you're still asking more of me and you won't let go of this damn spinoff idea. So anyways, the celebration ends. Do you have anything to add about the celebration? Because I'm skipping a lot of interactions that happen within this.
No, the main thing I wrote was Ava and Deborah mentally broke Stacey.
Yes. So then we go to the next scene. Deb is entering her house, and in the foyer she sees a present from Bob, the head of the studio, and she calls him to thank him, but then also she complains about Winnie bothering her about a spinoff, and he's like, I'll take care of it. And we find out that the next day that Winnie gets fired. So Bob has taken care of it, and they're in Deb's dressing room as this news is being read out loud, and Deb kind of acts like she has no idea how that happened.
I know. I wrote to ask you, do you think Deborah did it on purpose?
I think she did.
You do?
Do
Okay.
you?
I I don't think that she told Bob to get Winnie fired. I think she definitely told Bob because she was like, if somebody's gonna is able to like talk to her and she'll listen, this is the person.
Yeah.
And then I think that Bob's solution to everything is just fire you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
But
There was not enough remorse for me when she found out. That's why I think she did it on purpose.
that's why I wrote down the question though, because when I watched it again, I was taking the notes. I was like, yeah, Deborah doesn't look very remorseful. She
Mhm.
doesn't seem very concerned. She's just like,
Mhm.
oh no. And then
Right.
that's
Yeah.
it. So I didn't feel because when I listened to what she was telling Bob and the way she was phrasing it, it didn't seem as meaningful, like as intending to be hurtful or.
I agree. Yeah, I feel like the way he went about to take care of it was an overreaction
But
to what
maybe
she
she's
was
not
asking.
upset about it. She's like, oh well, he took care of
That's
it.
how it was. Yeah.
Hmm.
But that also sucks because, again, we just had that scene of her thanking her at the celebration
Hmm.
of the number one. And it's like, yeah, she really did fight your corner, even though she gave you stipulations. But I mean, it was like tough love in a way. Like, she was like, listen, you've got this, but also no one wants you to have this. And yeah, I don't know. It felt very backstabby.
Oh, either way, no matter what, because if you go and complain to your boss about somebody, if they find out, then it doesn't really matter what the outcomes are. You still look bad.
Yeah,
Doesn't look good.
exactly.
It doesn't look
Yeah.
like you're being supportive, and that's you have to be careful kind of when you vent to your boss about stuff because they can take it a certain way if you're just trying to bond over frustration, but they could
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
I agree. Were you a bit disappointed? Like, do you think this did anything for how you viewed Deb's character growth, or was it just like a when he's not enough of like that important of a character?
I guess I would say I just wasn't surprised by it. I know Deborah has had a lot of character growth, but
Mhm.
I think that that's behavior that she will continue to have until she dies, and so
Yeah. Damn, that sucks.
what do you
That
think?
really sucks. I think I agree with you. Yeah, I want her to. It's like because her whole thing is like she's not new to the industry. She knows the
Mhm.
way shit works, so she also knew making that phone call and saying it that way. Maybe like 75% would have resulted in a firing. So it's just kind of like, really, Deborah, you know?
Yeah, and because it was so small,
Yeah, exactly.
because eventually she could have just, if things were still going well, she could just told Winnie like, "Fuck off.
Right.
We're still doing great. We don't need it."
Right.
But
Yeah.
she was a little too ahead of things.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think that's the end of the episode.
The last, or I meant to mention this before. I've been thinking it when I've been watching this show. I love how Helen Hunt has aged. You can tell she's
Yes.
had a little boat. She looks
Yes.
nice and good for her age, but also she hasn't had any filler in her lips.
Yes.
And I was like, that's not, you can just tell, looks so nice.
Yes. It's aging the way it's meant to be aging.
She
Yeah.
could, I think, get a little lip filler and it not be super noticeable, but I think at this point
It won't be
it
noticed.
would be more
Yes.
noticeable. So, but yeah, I think she just I'm like that's how I
Yeah.
want to age.
Yeah, I agree. She's been around for a long time. I
Mhm.
don't know why I couldn't have placed her. I was like, oh my God, I know this actor. What's her name? What's her name? Helen Hunt.
Did you never see Twister?
I did. The new one?
No,
Or
the
the old one?
OG.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did. But a while ago. I'm
Yeah.
not rewatching Twister.
Oh, you should.
Oh, yeah?
It's so bad.
I still haven't seen the new one, to be honest.
The new one, it is better than the old one. The old one, I just when we went to go rewatch it, I just remember like that was the movie. That
Yeah.
was the action-packed movie for like 2 years. I swear, it felt like everyone was talking
Yeah,
about it.
I
And then
agree.
you're watching it again. I'm like, this is poorly written. Acting is not great. the CGI also, but I'll give them it's early
Hello,
2000s.
friends. Right.
And I'm like, this is what our action movies were. This is what our action movies were. Okay.
Oh, what was it? Oh, I guess it was 1996.
Oh, okay. Yeah, even a
Is
little
that
bit
all
later.
right? Does that give it a little reprieve?
No,
Okay.
but yeah.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe I will rewatch. No, because then it'll make me sad.
No,
That
I think you'll laugh. You'll have a fun time. It's
I.
funny. It's very funny.
Okay. I'll write it down to fit in during the summer to watch it
Mhm.
because then I can then watch the new one after.
Yes, and it is because you don't really have to watch the first one, but I like to see how they are adapting Twisters because it's not a sequel, but it
Yes.
exists in the same universe, and
Yes.
it's a neat
Yeah.
way. They did a good job with that. So,
Yeah.
and it's got Glenn Powell,
It does.
but they don't kiss in the movie, which is absurd.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think that's why I boycotted not watching it. I was like, why are you not giving like what? Insane. Insane. Speaking of Glenn, I wonder when that TV show of his is coming out.
Never.
Yeah.
Let me see. What was it called again? Chad Powers.
Wow. That was a great recall.
That's sometimes I will remember the most bizarre things, and then you'll ask me like, "What's my middle name?" I'm like, what is my middle name?" But I remember it still just says 2025.
Yeah.
So,
Guess we'll see.
oh, actually, hold on. No, it says September 30th, 2025 is when episode 1 drops.
Oh wow.
I'm
Okay.
gotta put that on the press release. I'm gonna make note of that now.
Yes.
Well, I guess we can end the episode now that we're just talking about literally everything else.
Everything else. You're right. Okay, guys, that was the recap of episode 8. We'll see you next week for episode 9. Bye.
Bye, y'all.